Quaid Azam, Pot 67. Some striking differences between these two Indians are lucidly conveyed by Hector Belito in Quest of Jinnah. He writes, Jinnah was a source of power, Gandhi an instrument of it. Jinnah was a cold rationalist in politics. He had one-track mind and he practiced. He had one-track mind He had one-track mind with great force behind it. Then Jinnah was potentially kind, but in behavior extremely cold and distant. Gandhi embodied compassion. Jinnah did not wish to touch the poor, and not so Jinnah. And Jinnah for being uprooted. And then, of course, Gandhi's common man until August 9th. He called it the direct action of defend and deployed. And well, if we talk about Gandhi, he toward the end he practiced the highest form of flattery, imitation. He too, like Gandhi, in reality was of the Congress final arbiters, would be the sole spokesman. Not so Jinnah for having been uprooted repeatedly in his childhood, then moved too frequently. He neither easily belonged nor did he relate with comforts. Beside being quintessential constitutionalist, he had to follow different codes. For him to adapt to the changing times, to the dusty trails of rural India was not that all easy. That is why he found it so difficult by around 1920 to maintain his position at the national level, given Gandhi's arrival and rapid ascendancy. Besides, there was no province, not one, but then, not later, he could rely upon as a totally exclusive parish. His lack of ability and so on, whereafter his status as a Muslim, it must be accepted, and further handicapped the positions. Well, Lloyd and Suzanne Rudolph, the professors of political science, Emeritus University of Chicago, in correspondence with me, have shared thoughts briefly on the same theme. They hold Jinnah could not stand Gandhi's, but his reasons, I believe, were markedly different from those driving his hatred for Nehru almost from the beginning of Gandhi's entry into national politics, 1915-1920 era. Jinnah thought of him not only as rival but also as poseur, a fake demagogue. They shared English experience, and Jinnah remained committed to his three-piece suits, his lorgnette, his cigarette holder. By the time Gandhi returned to India from 21 years in South Africa, he had begun to shed his identity as an English gentleman, to add his liberal creed, commitment to be a man of to his liberal creed of a commitment to be a man of and for the people, the ordinary people of India's town and villages. Jinnah remained committed to his three-piece. Jinnah remained committed to his three-piece suits, his lorgnette, his cigarette holder, and the King's English. No Gujarati for him, no political language that invoked religion. Jinnah excelled in parliamentary politics, the kind of politics that moderate Gokhale was good at, and at that extremist Tilak scorned. Gandhi combined a liberal concern for the deliberative, non-violent politics evident in the politics of Satyagraha with the extremist tactics of the direct action. His was an outdoors politics of the public spheres and the public opinions, rather than an indoor politics of the halls of parliament and the corridors of powers. When Gandhi donned the clothes and the style of the common man, then later shed even these for the bare minimum of the poorest villagers, Jinnah was progressively repelled and increasingly convinced that Gandhi was a demagogue and a fake. That's what he called, and called so rightly.